Hey guys, what's going on? I'm glad you guys are back. Welcome to another episode of the Goody Room. That's where we want to be and learn about all these great topics. As far as the Goody Room is concerned, it's a bunch of different videos that have entertainment, life scenarios and situations, how to respond to certain things, gear reviews, and a couple other things included. So be sure to keep updated with these and check them out. Hit the notification panel if you feel you want to. And the topic we're going to kind of continue on was on my most recent post, and it was on the topic of the mentality and the subtopic of acceptance. Okay, so what I described and talked about there was my own personal experience and the warrior mentality that people tend to find very common. And now we're going to kind of change it around to the civilian aspect and how it can apply to you guys. All right, because we're here to learn, we're here to grow and do great stuff. So and as far as the mentality and the subtopic being acceptance, we're going to touch on a few things here. And I'm going to give just a brief overview of the post so you guys are all caught up in case you have not seen it. Um, the brief overview of the subtopic of acceptance is that you have to accept who you are or what you are, and whatever it is. Okay, so if you're a doctor and you're trying to go into some other field or do this and it's just not cutting out for you, you're not really that passionate about it, that's because whatever it is that you're doing, you don't feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment that is what you're made to go and do. Okay, so if you're a football player, accept you are a football player. Okay, if you are a great photographer, accept that you're a photographer. If you're really, really good at something that you can make a career or a profession out of and do it with ease because you have a drive and the will to keep getting up every day and going after it, then that is obviously what you feel, or even if you don't feel, but that is what you're destined to do. And some people, it takes them a very, very long time to figure that out because they're trying so many different things, which is why they ask the question, what are you passionate about? What is your drive towards? And if your answer is, well, I'm passionate in my drives towards this, but I'm doing this over here, then you need to refocus your energy into what is going to bring the most out of you and happiness and fulfillment as the individual. Okay? So that's the part with acceptance. All right? Now, we're going to keep on along the same term, and we're going to talk about the positive side of this, and we're going to talk about the darker side, okay, of the word acceptance. So on the positive, good upper hand of this is that everyone has a choice, okay, and when you accept either who you are or what it is you're doing, you have to determine if it's benefiting you or if it's more in a poisonous manner that you're trying to do something good but it's making you worse. Okay, so some people have very great hearts, and whatever it is that they're trying to do, it's hurting them more, or because they're not appropriately putting their time and effort on healing abilities. Okay, so in regards to, just like I said in my recent post, I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter, and that's what I love to do. That's what I'm passionate about. But more importantly, what I'm passionate about is helping someone when their life is in a very jeopardizing or very critical state. Okay, I'm very passionate about that, and all I love about that is the simple thank you and that they live on another day. My drawbacks and my failure parts on my end was a lack of self care. I didn't care what happened to me because I was set on the mission of helping someone else. So there would be a lot of times where I would, at the instant that there's either danger that's come up, a house fire, someone drowning, whatever the case, I'm the first one to act, and I'm the first one to immediately take charge and get out there and do what I do. And it has worked out well for a lot of people's lives. I was able to save and help. And I don't see them after that. But the point is, they have that memory, and that's what was important to me. At the cost of me not valuing my own self needs and whatever I needed to do to fix things. Okay, so you will come around to that corner where you have something you're going after, but there is always a give and take. So you have to find that balance, right? So on the darker side of this, okay, or on the more I don't know a word to use for it, but that's just what I'm going to stick with. On the flip side, okay, if You're having trouble with certain things, whether you're in a relationship, you have a substance abuse problem, or whatever the case it is. You have to accept that whatever it is that's causing turmoil in your life, which is where the poisonous part comes in, whichever part is causing that turmoil, you have to accept if you are the root cause of that, meaning your actions, okay, you have to accept that part. Okay, and the first thing is what people do during these stages or during even relationship, let's just use that in general. They're in a huge state of denial. Wasn't me, wasn't me, wasn't this, wasn't that. Maybe it was you, maybe it was not. The point of the matter is if two people want to get better in a relationship, or if the individual wants to get better at taking care of themselves, they have to accept whatever it is that's causing that issue. Okay, whether it be substance abuse, whether it be if they're not seeking the right medical attention for something, if they're not seeking mental therapy or whatever the case it is. It's a lot of people, they have this fear of being judged. Okay, very, very common. That is not an issue, okay, because it happens everywhere on a daily basis. People have come into this concept of judging the next person based off, knowing them in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or when they open up about something, okay? Um, which I can completely understand that. That's very reasonable, and it's a defense mechanism, okay? So to follow up with that, all right, if you indeed want to be the best version of yourself, and it doesn't matter if you're 20 years old, 30, 40, 50, there are people that are making life-changing things happen on a month-to-month, week-to-week, or year-to-year basis because they're consistent with their approach, they're consistent with their combating techniques on how to make that situation better and remedy itself, and they're not giving up. And the reason I'm saying that is because everyone has a different backstory and everyone has different situations that they grow up in, okay? And there's always, I can guarantee you, there's always going to be someone that has it worse than you. So for example, I'll attach this little segment at the end because I just seen this story and it was very heart touching. And to give you an example how powerful influence is and how powerful who you surround yourself with is, this kid, he was 18 years old, okay? He got cut in half by a forklift, right? So he has almost basically most of his right arm missing, and his lower half is completely gone. Couldn't get it back, completely cut in half. This kid, 18, 19 years old, is going to have an incredibly challenging life. But you know what? He is one of the most humblest, I think I said that right, most humble individual that I've ever seen. One of the. And the crazy part about it is that he's young. Okay, and for that to happen, that is usually a make or break situation right there, where you either decide you're gonna keep that humbleness about you and continue to be positive, or you're just gonna go down the long road and see that life's not worth it anymore for you. Okay, and with that situation said, there's so many other circumstances and scenarios that we could go on for days about how someone has changed their life around. Eric Thomas is another great example. If you don't know about him, go check him out on YouTube. But he is another great example of a homeless man, and he went and got his degree, his master's, I believe, and he's a spokesperson, a motivational speaker, and he has a lot of emotion and power behind his speech. So the realistic case here is that it's possible for you to change. It's possible for you to get up and be better every step of the way. It's possible that if you had a long list of BS, even people who've been incarcerated for more than 50% of their lives can come out and still be happy to make a change in regards to their situation. It's not uncommon for that to happen. In fact, it's really common. It's just the average person you walk by doesn't feel they have to change in some area or aspect of their life. And unfortunately, it comes to an event where they do come close to death or a life-changing scenario at some point where they're like, you know what, I really need to sit back and make some changes here to my lifestyle and my decisions. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, topic is mentality, subtopic is accept.
Man, y'all should add or follow me. I'm only 20 years old, and I'm half a man. I was a full man, but I mean, your boy got cut in half by a forklift. So, drop a follow, yo. This is just the beginning.